Well, just today, this was actually on the cover of yahoo.com. What does that say?
You know what?
It says, how Devin Haney boxed his way into a $6 million net worth.
Hey, a lot of things on the internet, you know what I mean? I tend to not believe all of everything on the internet, you know what I mean?
Look, I'm not saying that that's his exact net worth. It could be triple that or
Right.
whatever else. But the fact that you took a child not coming from the boxing world yourself and helped to steer them into being a multimillionaire, having an amount like that could be generational wealth.
Absolutely.
If you know what to do with it, if you know how to invest it properly.
Man, from East Oakland, listen, if you got 1 million, you're not supposed to have to look back.
Right.
You'd be an embarrassment. If you get $1 million and you back on the corner and you're from East Oakland, you're an embarrassment.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So the fact that you've helped mold your son into a multimillionaire that changed the direction of your family. And a lot of times I think it's easy to think, well, these kids were just born a certain type of way and they would have gotten to where they are regardless. But after interviewing LaVar Ball and having, getting to see two of his kids both be picked in the top 3 in the NBA draft, you realize these aren't accidents, that this was long preparation, hard work, devotion, sacrifice, selling all your possessions in order to put everything into your son, not knowing if it's going to work out. Because ultimately, things don't always work out. Look at Snoop. Snoop moved to Las Vegas to try to focus on his son's football career. His son went to UCLA, and a year later, he said, Dad, I don't really feel like playing football anymore.
But
it's just not my desire.
Right. But that doesn't mean that it didn't work out.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know that your son's going to be a world champion.
Well, you know what I never sold? I never sold the lawn chair that I pulled out the trunk to watch Devin box, watch Devin run, is the same chair that I have in my trunk that I watch Bella and Sean play tennis. And you know what? That in the air, that euphoria, that smell in the air of promise and future, I still smell it now, just like I smelled it, 15, 17 years ago.
Well, yeah, you said I stopped caring about money a long time ago. When I stopped caring about it, I just couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, I just, it's one thing to be the rich, like Floyd said, but to be people rich, right? And when I say that I go everywhere and everyone says the one thing that I told them that keeps me going is, man, Bill, you're a great dad. You're a great dad. And I know that Allah's given me time to be a dad. That energy and that time, the energy I have, but the time that he's allowed to give me, I'm so happy and so grateful for. And I tell all my homeboys, I said, dog, you might don't have enough money to shit on the world, but somehow God gives us enough money for our kids' next step in life. And if you got that, that was enough for me to know that, okay, the school is paid, the tutor is paid, the professor, the boxing coach, the conditioning coach, the whatever that thing is, that's taken care of. And we just have so much promise. And looking at him and knowing that he's tied up and wrapped up in his passion. And I see Bella and I see Sean doing it. And it's so refreshing for me. You know what I mean? But to have big money, in the underworld, in the streets, and to have that kind of fame, right? Or then to be in sports and to have money and to have that kind of fame, I think the sweet spot is your kids and being a parent. That's that sweet spot.
Well, Bill Haney, I don't interview a lot of parents because I try to only put exceptional people on this platform. Having a child that's successful doesn't make you exceptional. Anyone could have a kid that, wins the genetic lottery and ends up becoming rich, famous, whatever else. But the success of your son is intricately tied to what you've done. You took someone who could have gone a lot of different directions. And you said, I'm going to actually put and devote my life into helping create a superstar, a world champion, like a LaVar Ball, like a certain number of other dads and moms out there. And I think that's an important lesson. And I just feel that that's inspirational to people, because it's hard as humans to have your actions be greater than just yourself in your immediate satisfaction. To actually look long-term, to look at multi-generational situations, multi-generational success, that requires a lot of devotion, and you've devoted a lot of your life to this. And I applaud your son's success, your other kids, the success that you're building for them, and looking forward to the next fight. It hasn't been announced yet, right?
Right. Yeah.
Still in the works, but I know it's going to be an exciting one when it happens.
Well, and I thank you for this platform, and I thank you for the opportunity. One of my biggest quests and biggest journeys in this process has been always to know that anyone can do it. Anyone can do that. The guy that's watching, you know what I mean? That got on the puff coat and he's kind of arguing with his baby mama, but he sees the promise in his kid. He can do it. The king and queen that have their daughter or their son, they're like, we can go up against everything for them. They can do it. I mean, it's just so many people that I look at, and I'm inspired by, right? Just a working dad who's, you know what I mean, who wants to really be there for his son, right? And the one thing that keeps me motivated is when someone comes and they have a little kid and they're like, hey, we're following you guys' blueprint. We're believing in each other, and we believe that it can happen. And for me, in Oakland, I didn't have that. Yeah. I had everyone, I had everything, I had all the other stuff to look at, but I didn't have anyone that believed wholeheartedly in the one responsibility that God gives us, and that's to have kids. Not the Rolls Royce or the G-Wagon. I picked that responsibility. God gave me a responsibility to have kids. And those times and those kids, those beautiful kids that he's given me, I take that job serious, Vlad. I do.
And you've done it very well.
Thank you, King.
You've done it to the highest level, man. Appreciate you coming in. All the best. Until next time.
Thank you, Vlad.
Bay Area shit.
Bay Area shit.
Yeah.